Chapter 11. The Adductive Quality of Thought. The great writer on the power of the mind, Prentice Mulford, has summed up much of his philosophy in the statement, "Thoughts are things." In these words he gave expression to a mighty truth, which, if fully apprehended by mankind, will revolutionize the world. Though it is not only a dynamic force, it is a real thing, just as in any other material object. Thought is merely a finer form of matter, or a grosser form of spirit. You may call it either with equal correctness. Matter is but a grosser form of mind but a finer form of matter. There is but one substance in nature, but that substance has many forms, ranging from the most material, so-called forms, to the highest form, spirit. When we think, we send out vibrations of fine ethereal substances, which is as real as the finer vapors or gases, the liquids as solids. We do not see thought, neither do we see the finer vapors or gases. We cannot smell or taste thought, neither do we smell or taste the pure air. We can feel it, however, as many can testify, which is more than we can say of the powerful magnetic vibrations of a mighty magnet, which, while exerting a force sufficient to attract toward it a piece of steel weighing 100 pounds, is absolutely without effect upon us. Its vibrations may pass through our bodies and exert its force on the steel, while we may be unaware of its existence. Light and heat send out vibrations of a lower intensity than those of thought, but the principle is the same. The evidence of the five senses is not absolutely necessary to establish the existence of a material substance or force. The annals of science are full of proofs of this fact. Professor Elisha Gray, an eminent scientist, says in his little book, The Miracles of Nature, "There is much food for speculation in the thought that there exist sound waves that no human can hear, and color waves of light that no eye can see. The long, dark, soundless space between 40,000 and 400 trillion vibrations per second, and the infinity of range between 700 trillion vibrations per second, where light ceases, in the universe of motion makes it possible to indulge in speculation." M. Williams, in his work entitled Short Chapters in Sciences, says, "There is no gradation between the most rapid undulations or tremblings that produce our sensations of sound, and the slowest of those which gave rise to our sensations of gentle warmth. There is a huge gap between them, wide enough to include another world of motion, all lying between our world of sound and our world of heat and light. And there is no good reason whatsoever for supposing that matter is incapable of such intermediate activity, or that such activity may not give rise to intermediate sensations, provided there are organs for taking up and sensifying these movements. I cite the above authorities merely to give you food for thought, not to attempt to demonstrate to you the fact that thought vibrations exist. The last mentioned subject would be far beyond the scope of purpose of this work, and can only be touched upon herein. The character of the thought vibrations sent out by us depends upon the nature of the thought itself. If thought had color, and some say that they have, we should see our fear and worry thoughts as murky, heavy clouds hanging close to the earth. Our bright, cheerful, and happy, confident, I can and I will thought as light, fleecy, vapory clouds hanging close to the earth. Our bright, cheerful, and happy, confident, I can and I will thoughts as light, fleecy, vapory clouds, traveling swiftly and mingling with others of their kind, forming fleecy cloud banks high above the level of the dense, mephitic, foul exhalations produced by fear and worry, I can't thoughts. No matter how far your thought waves may travel, they retain a certain connection with you and exert an influence over you as well as others. You cannot easily get rid of the influence over you as well as others. You cannot easily get rid of the influence of these children of your mind. If you have been sending out bad thoughts, you are subject to their influence, and your only hope is to neutralize and counteract them by sending out strong, new thought waves of the proper sort, or by asserting the I am, and thereby creating a mental aura, or by both means. The old saying, like attracts like and birds of a feather flock together, are both literally exemplified by the tendencies of thought waves. There is what is known as the adductive quality of thought, the word adductive being derived from the Latin word adductum, to bring to. The manifestation of this quality of thought is one of the most wonderful features in the realm of psychic phenomena. Fear or worry thought will attract others of their own kind and will combine with them, the result being that you will be afflicted not only by the products of your own mind, but also by those emanating from the minds of others, the whole forming a heavy burden, and the longer that you persist in the line of thought, the heavier will be your burden. On the other hand, if you think bright, cheerful, and happy thoughts, they will draw to themselves others of the same degree, and you will feel brighter, more cheerful, and happier from their combined influence. This is absolutely true, but you are not asked to accept it on faith alone. Try it and be convinced. But in the experiment, be sure to include a couple of thoughts with a feeling of confidence in the outcome, and you will obtain much better and quicker results. Half-hearted, doubting thoughts have only a small percentage of the force of confident, expectant ones. If you think along the lines of discouragement, lack of confidence, afraid to try, no I can't lines, you will attract to yourself the force of other murky thoughts of the same kind, and you will find that you really can't, and moreover everyone else will seem to entertain just the same opinion regarding your ability. But just brace up and send out earnest, confident, fearless, I can and I will thought waves, and you will attract to yourself the similar thought waves of others, which will still further stimulate and strengthen you and help you to accomplish your aim. If you send out jealous, envious thoughts, they will come home bringing their mates with them, and you will be wretched until the effect passes off. So will waves of hate return to harm you, having gained force and power on their journey. The old proverb, curses like chickens come home to roost, is much nearer the real truth than is generally supposed. Anger thought arouses anger in other men, unless he has rendered himself positive to them, and he sends back his return thought waves, besides which other anger waves mingle and help on the vicious work. You have heard people say, a man always finds what he looks for. Of course he does. He cannot help it, for his thought attracts others of the same sort, and he sees a world of the same color as his mental spectacles. Good thoughts attract good, evil thoughts evil. If you hate a man and send him your hate thoughts, you will get hate in return, and will face a hating and hateful world. In the thought world, you get back what you send out, with good interest. Send out kind thoughts, and kind thoughts will return to you with compound interest, and you will find yourself greeted by a kind, helping world, and will be much the gainer. If only for a selfish point of view, it pays to think the best thoughts. If you will practice thinking along these lines for, say, 1 month, you will find the greatest difference in things, the greatest change in yourself, and you will find that you look with aversion and disgust upon your old, mean, low, miserable way of thinking, and would not return to it under any considerations, no, not even for a fortune. Before the month will have passed, you will be conscious of the helpful force of the responsive thought waves, and your life will seem entirely different to you. Try it now. You will never regret it. There are 2 particularly bad thoughts with which you should root out. First of all, and you will find that, when you have rid yourself of the balance, will die out of their own accord. I allude to fear and hate. These 2 following weeds are the parent of most of the others. Worry is the oldest child of fear, and bears a close resemblance to his father. Envy, malice, and anger are some of the numerous broods claiming hate as their parent. Destroy the old ones, and you will not be troubled with their offspring. I will speak further on this point in the lesson on character building. I will now process to another phase of the adductive quality of thought. I refer to its exhibition along the lines of success by right thinking. It may seem almost incredible to you, but it is a fact that all successful men owe their greatness to their earnest, forceful, concentrated thought vibrations. They fixed their mind upon a certain line of thought, brought the aid of will, the recognition of the I am, to bear on the line of thought, allowed that line of thought to mold their character, went straight to the mark at which they had aimed at the beginning. Others had aimed for the same mark but failed because they failed to hold the thought and had allowed themselves to become discouraged, intimidated, tempted, or coaxed away from their ideal. The requisites for the success follow-up of the thought ideal to the end are: first, an overpowering desire, not a mere wish; second, a strong belief in your ability to accomplish your desire, not a mere half-hearted faith; and third, an invincible determination to win, not a mere backbone, "I'll try it." It is a strange thing and difficult to explain without leading you into metaphysical depths, but the measure of success by his plan seems to depend materially upon your belief in the force. A half-hearted belief will bring only halfway results, while an earnest, firm, confident belief that your win will come to you will accomplish results little short of marvelous. Cultivate that sort of belief and accompany it with a firm mental demand for what you want, and you will succeed. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. But accompany the asking and knocking with a firm belief and expectation of success. Helen Willman says, "He who dares assert the I may calmly wait while hurry fate meets his demand with sure supply." But the words "calmly wait" refer only to the state of mind and indicates that calm, confident expectation of a sure thing. It does not mean that a man shall sit down and fold his hands and do nothing more than calmly wait for hurrying fat to drop his reward on his lap. Oh no, Helen Willmans never meant that. She is not built that way. The man who is possessed of the dominating desire and concentrated thought impulses does not sit down and merely wait. He couldn't do that without sacrificing his keen desire and earnest pursuit. Thought manifests itself in action. The firmer the thought, the stronger the action. You may want a thing in the worst way and be fully confident of your ability to secure it, but you are going after that thing the best way you know how and are going to get it. You will agree with Garfield, who said, "Do not wait for a thing to turn up. Go out and turn something up, with all your might and main, but carrying with you the calm demand that that thing will be turned up as a result of your going out and turning. And you will feel all the time the confident expectation of the thing obeying your command." I wish that my space would allow me to tell you of the wonderful results of this plan of thinking and acting, but I can merely touch upon it and call your attention to the working of the law. But after all, one must learn a thing by experience before they appreciate its truth. The I am is not satisfied in any other way. I want everyone who reads this lesson to start in and practice the new thought plan. You will have to accept what I say on faith at first, but you will soon begin to demonstrate its correctness by personal experience, and then you will know it to be true and will push forward toward success. Anything is yours if you only want it hard enough. Just think of it, anything. Try it. Try it in earnest and you will succeed. It is the operation of a mighty law. Our next lesson will take up the subject of character building and will show you that, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. End of lesson.